Hello, BookTube. I was tagged by Mike at the Bibliophile Reads, and this is the book confessions tag. So, it's all about confessing your sins as a book collector. If you are a book collector, or if you are just a reader who has books and pretends you are not a book collector. The first question is, I own more books than I can realistically read. That's not true for me, because I did, in the last 5 years, I did 2 great purges in my library. The first one was, I think, was in 2021, and I've got rid of like 300 books, and then the last one was like this year, in the beginning of this year, when I've got rid of 300 more books. So right now I have around 600 books in my library. And some people would say that's not a library, you need at least 1,000 books to say you have a personal library, which I used to have more than 1,000, but I've got rid of 600 of them. So right now I can totally read all of the 600 books in my library. And even if I had like 1,200, that would be easy to read throughout my entire life. I have statistically I have 50 more years to live, around that. So that would be easy. I can read around 100 books a year. That's a really good reading year. I've stopped tracking how many books I read a year, but I think if I go back to tracking it, it will be around 100. And although I don't track anymore the amount, I do track the titles. I have a Excel spreadsheet with the books that I've read, that I'm reading, and that are in my TBR. So, second question. I've bought books just because they were beautiful. I don't do that anymore, and I'm quite sure I did that when I was very young. Like, when I was 15, 16 maybe. But then I stopped doing that quite quickly. And when I was a teenager, I started building my personal library when I was 15, and back then I used to buy. Pretty sure I used to buy books because they were beautiful, but beautiful for me meant old, like used old hardcovers, like leather imitation, things like that, to look like a Victorian bookshelf. But I don't do that anymore. I don't really care much about the aesthetics of my books. I like hardcovers because they are durable. That you can open them up without them cracking, and they will last a lifetime. But my favorite non-hardcover edition is the Oxford World Classic, which is just like it's not a mass market, because I can't read mass markets anymore. It's a reduced trade paperback size, and it's great. It's amazing. It's my the Oxford World Classics is my favorite collection for non-hardcovers, and of course my favorite hardcovers are the Loeb Classics, which I actually don't have any right now, but I'm looking to start my Loeb Classics collection, especially now that I'm really getting into ancient Greek for real. Third question. Finding a great book is sometimes more exciting than reading it. No. No, reading is the most exciting part. Finding cool books that you want to read is very cool, it's very exciting, but it's never as great as reading it. Unless the book is shit. Then if the book is shit, anything is better than the book, even not finding it. But the fun of finding books for me is like mining them out of used bookshops. Like just go into a used bookshop and browse the piles of books and like basically mine the book out of the shop. It's great. I love that feeling. But reading is better. Fourth question. I've bought duplicates by accident or because I liked a different edition. I don't think I've ever bought by accident. I gave a gift, a book as a gift by accident. There was a duplicate, but because I gave a book to a friend, and another friend of mine who was also a friend of this friend, a mutual friend, also gave the same book to her. So she had two identical books. That happened once. But I do have duplicates in my library, but that's because first, like if I have two different critical editions with different critical apparatus that I want to keep, and second is because, for example, if I have a huge collection and this collection it's complete and it's matching books and it has a book that I want, but it's not the edition that I want to read, I will have a different separate edition, a critical one probably, but I will not get rid of the volume of the collection that has this book, because like it would make no sense to have a 50 book collection in which I have 49 because I got rid of one. No, I need the complete collection. I have that problem in my life. Fifth question. I sometimes rearrange my bookshelves for fun. No, setting up your bookshelves is very fun. I have a blast when I move places, although I hate moving. But I don't. It is fun doing it, but I will not like out of nowhere rearrange it. I have a very specific organization in mind, and I'm pretty fast in achieving it. Sixth question. There are books I will probably never read, but I'll never get rid of them. No, and I do not understand this question. No, why would you have the book if you're not going to read it? The last 5 years in my life, it was partly, in my bookish life, was partly defined of getting rid of books. So I'm pretty good at it. Seventh question. I've bought books simply because they were a bargain. Yes, I did that. And then, like a few months later, I realized, yeah, I don't want to read this, so I got rid of them. I like the idea of eighth question. I like the idea of having certain books even if I don't plan to read them soon. Yeah, that is one of the points of having a personal library. I'm gonna read all of my books one day, but it's good to have them around me, even if it's gonna take like a year or two for me to read them, because a library is part of creating your reading environment. It's part of it's like a promise, and it's great to have that promise around you. Final question. What's one confession you have as a book collector? What's something that you do you think other collectors would understand? Actually that is the only one that I didn't think before starting recording the video. And what's one confession you have as a book collector? Okay, I think if you organize your library as a rainbow shelf by color, that's stupid. It actually puts me off. If I play on a video, a booktube video of a new channel, and in the back they have a rainbow shelf, that puts me off. Like it's distracting, and I cannot stop thinking about how stupid that is. And I think book collectors, reasonable people, you will understand me. in this aspect, because the impression that organizing your books by color gives me is that, oh, books are boring, so you need to make something different and childish and shiny, like you are a ADHD child that needs to constantly receive a shining object in front of you so you can pay attention. So yeah, that's no, that's a big no. Uh, okay, another thing that I think book collectors will understand is that moving houses is horrible if you have a lot of books. Absolutely horrible. One of the worst things you can do if you have a personal library is moving houses. It's a nightmare, a total nightmare. It's horrible. And I guess that's it for today, BookTube. From a different location, I'm at a cafe at the medical school, and it's a beautiful place with trees, and there's a water fount, just like in my field of vision. And I think I'm going to drink a coffee and then go back to the lab. Thank you, BookTube.